Hi guys, so last night when I was playing this game, it cut out my stream, and so therefore instead of just continuing, I just quickly got out and just saved and quit. Alright guys, so welcome back. I just realized we almost did 60 episodes within 2 weeks! We're doing an average of 6 episodes a day, brother. We have 250 hours on the stream. Alright, so I need plastic to make my containers, and when I did this, I'm experimenting. So this is an experiment. Here's the experiment. This machine is underclocked to 120. Each machine uses 30 cubic meters of oil per minute. There are 4, which adds up to 120 cubic meters. So there's an exact amount of usage here. Now, unlike my other systems, I've placed this buffer here, and it seems to go up, down, up, down, up, down, which that's healthy. So here it comes. These are operating at 100% throughput. Oh, it's pretty like. I need to do something. I need to get this plastic out of here before it starts jamming out. Okay, so I'm running this experiment because you know, I want to see if the end buffer the system works. Like, I've heard from Reddit and from people coming to my stream that apparently a very great idea to do is to put a buffer at the end of your system. I tried that, and it appears that it is working. Hello, viewer. I'm very glad the person, I don't know who did it, but hey, pat yourself on the back, damn it. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right here. So if any plastic overflows and this literally gets full, which it's gonna get full, it's gonna send it straight to the grinder. So again, for the heavy oil residue, we have it being turned into fuel. This is not 100% throughput, and I don't care. I just need to delete the fuel. The fuel is also going to be burnt in this, so we're producing less fuel than we can consume. I think. Shit, we're producing more fuel, I think, than we can actually consume. We are. Hello, viewer. Alright, so you probably were, when you watched me last, you probably were listening to me, build this giant apparatus right here. Oh wait, you know, I have a better idea. I'm gonna steal one of these dudes, and we're just gonna overclock it. We need to consume more fuel than we would produce in this rig. You have a glow up. You look like you have a glow up. What do you mean a glow up? Like, I'm not offended, but like, what the hell is a glow up? Please explain. I'm not cultured. What would be a great idea? Discharge bullets into an oil piper, and somehow it does not explode. Alright, so again, this system is an experiment. The entire body is new. Oh, it's probably because I have a haircut. But guys, I have some very, very great news. I have some very, very great news, and I'm very excited to show it to you. I most likely have, or not most likely, I have got a job interview on Monday at 2 for a wind farm. Chat, we're gonna quadruple, or I'm at least gonna quadruple the income. Well, actually more like triple it, not quadruple. Because, you know, federal income tax. But yeah, we're gonna get a lot more money, hopefully. Which means I can pay my car off faster. Sorry. Okay, so here's what we were doing last time. We were building this, and again, this is an experiment, as I said. So, here's how it works, right? Imagine the cubic meters of oil. They're in a line. They're in a nice line, and they have to wait, right? So, every once in a while, if we look at this right here, see how it says 50? Watch it. Ready? It's going to go down, and it's going to eat that oil right up. Every 6 seconds, we consume 30 cubic meters of oil. So here's the problem I have my system. Refineries and anything that consumes liquid, anything that consumes liquid in this game, it is not a sip, it's a chug. So imagine you drink it, you drink, swallow, you swallow certain quote-unquote gulps of liquid. This is exactly what these machines do. They take in 3 cubic meters, and then they don't do it for 6 seconds. And then after 6 seconds, 3 cubic meters at once. So, to balance that, well, apparently if you have no 100% throughput, what can happen is that if a certain amount of your machines take it all at once, or like line up at the same time, it can actually put air in your pipes. So, this buffer here is a stabilizer. While it will allow the oil in here will drain into the pipes when it takes in oil, and after it takes it in and there's any more, it will pump the oil into here. So I don't think this is sloshing right here. This is actually very healthy. It's gonna go down. Ready? Bam! The machines are consuming, and then after it stops, it's gonna fill up because now it's providing more oil. So it's gonna go up, down, up, down. The liquid level of this is going to go up and down, and that's very healthy for the system to be doing this. We're going to see how long this goes, because if it goes more than 12 hours, then it's better than my other system. I was also thinking about moving these things closer, but I don't know. I need to place buffers at the end for these. So like, let's see, these. Honestly, this system is with the buffer at the end right here is just like the other system, just with an extra machine on the end. So if you literally had that thing filled with HOR, it'll last about a minute or so, which is not bad. Also, we're implementing the buffers. I assume that these will work way better with the buffers. Alright, so here is the distribution belts. So here's how the system will work. By the way, I know no one's watching. I just like to practice talking. You know, actually, I need to practice talking for my interview. Alright, so here's how the system works. First, this water is taken into the facility through these pipes. Then it is pumped into the top of this water tower, and since this area is below the level of the water tower, it will allow the water to drain down and flow into this facility here. Once it flows, it'll distribute itself into these 5 pipe networks, or pipe manifolds. Now, when it distributes in the packers, it will have cans, empty canisters, and it will pack the water into these bottles. Once the bottles are packed, it will flow into this unit. Now, here's where we must take a little bit of a sidetrack. This is the TDRS, which means the trickle-down refinement system. First, oil is pumped all the way to the top here. When the oil is pumped to the top, it will then be split into 2 series. Each 3 lines will be split into 2 separate lines. The first line will flow into this top layer. This top floor... Oh, I don't even have these things assigned, by the way. Anyway, as I was saying, it'll flow... the half of the oil will flow into this top, and it will be produced in the plastic. As a byproduct, heavy oil residue will be produced. And after it is produced, it will be sent down this pipe, where it will flow into this one. And I didn't even connect that. Wow. Good thing I'm doing a tour. It will flow into this system. And after it collects into this system, it will combine with this pipe and flow all the way down here. The other half of the oil will flow into this and will make rubber. 600 rubber and plastic a minute will be produced in this facility. After it is all done, the HOR will flow into these buffers. After this, it will distribute itself into these machines, which this is where the packaged water comes into play. The packaged water will then be mixed with the HOR and turned into packaged fuel. Why is this recipe so special? Because this actually doubles the amount of fuel we have. This system versus the last system gets us more oil, it gets us more heavy residue, which means we get more plastic, more rubber, and more energy we can make. I need to do a quote-unquote thorough inspection of this facility. Those pipes weren't even connected. The other thing I was doing is I think, let's see, so this row right here produces 200 cubic meters a minute. Yeah, this should be fine. This pipe work should be fine. Because, let's see, I make 900 HOR a minute, which, the fun fact about this facility and this tower is that it's actually, quote-unquote, divided into 3 separate slices. So, the oil that flows, all the liquids that flow from here, down here, on this segment will never go into this segment. They will never. Which actually not only is great, it actually is great. It's kind of more simplified. And it helps, again, with simplicity and all that fun stuff. After that, the packaged fuel will then be lifted with conveyor belts up into this top of this building, where it will be converted into turbo fuel. Or it will be unpacked. The unpacked packages will be sent right back to the bottom of this building, and it will be repacked in the water. And this cycles the canisters. Once this fluid is, or once the fuel is in its liquid form, flowing through my pipes down here, it will then be converted into turbo fuel, which will make the energy output quintuple. Oh my gosh, my dog's being a dick. I should you know what I might do? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kind of go upwards about this. Let's see. I might go for this side. I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to go for that side. That's for right now. Let's see what I can do here. Again, as long as we don't go above this line right here, we're good. Which, more or less, we're pretty much good. No, we're not doing that because that completely invalidates the manifold that I've built. My manifold, well, with the buffer at the end. I have like 3 industrial buffers connected to these series of pipes right here, but I'm still going to, you know, build buffers at the end. I'm assuming with the generators, I should do it. Now, here's a problem with the generators in the buffer system. It's going to take a long time to flow. It's going to take a long time for them to fill up. So, we're going to have a lot of energy to put in to start this system up. Which is probably why I should build the battery system. So I'm going to figure out how am I going to do this. Each one of these takes about 60 cubic meters. So 600 times, so that's 120, 240, 360 a minute. Oops, wrong button. I think I want to make a pipe system that's lower. We need to make the one that's lower, because that way, you know, that's just such a bad number to work with. We're working with a 3 to a 5. Not. This pipe system is gonna be so shitty. Hmm. Not just I'm gonna try to make it look. I just want to make a system look clean. The reason I like to make the systems look clean is that way it's easy to work with. weird. What do you mean weird? Everybody's weird. Is that you? Is that your alt? Ugh. Okay, cool. We're consuming more fuel than we're making. This is an experimental system. Experiment. Let's see. Hypothesis. Placing buffers at the end of fluid manifolds will help stabilize the chugging and gulping of fluid-ran systems. Experiment success? Positive so far. The fluid seems to be not sloshing, but fluctuating as demand increases and decreases gradually and fluctuates with these machines, i.e. in English, that experiment's working. Simple. This is producing 120. No more, no less than what is needed for 4 of these, which each consume 30 cubic meters a minute. And it looks like the thing is working. And by the way, the fuel system, right here, this fuel refinery and whatever, it's not supposed to be balanced. I'm just... Honestly, it's not even filled. I had this running for like 15 minutes the other day. And even if it's not full, it seems to be working. It's still working. However, not only will I fill it, but here's the great thing about this system. Not only does it have these buffers, but it has these buffers. This right here should be able to run, it'll contain enough heavy oil residue to run the system for about 8 minutes. So I need this building to be wider, so here's what I'm going to do. When I get to the top, I'm going to make it like this, like that in the background. That's the drawing I made. And I'm going to make this scrappy, and then when it's good, I'm going to fabricate it. I'd say for those... I looked on Reddit, and someone said that they fixed it. But, yeah, still, that's what I've heard. However, if it's true, and if they didn't fix it, then that means that their buffers the system needs to be shut off for a brief amount of time, so that way they can resaturate. Because if it's perfectly balanced, any net negative will be permanent, quote unquote. You get what I'm saying. From those, here's how I view it, and here's a great way to view it. Is that, imagine you're swapping, right? If you're swapping using 2 items, you have to take 1 item out. Like, for example, let's look at my headset. At most, I have 3 batteries. The great thing is, if one dies, and if I forget to charge one of the batteries, and one of my batteries dies, I have a full battery ready to go. But if I forget to charge one battery, and I went to go and I go to replace it, then I don't have anything. That's a great analogy. When you have more than enough in a reservoir, it substitutes for loss. Also, by the way, as much I have a new model of a quote-unquote model of fuel generator, the FGC 7.3545X2. What is numbers? FGC fuel generator cell 7.3 megawatts 545 stacked X2 2 layers. Let me demonstrate. When you divide 200 cannot be divided by 7 to get an equal whole number. So, here's how you do this. Give me a second. Oh, it was you. I got the notification that you liked my comment. Do some math. 200, we need 200 generators. And by the way, you want to hear the great thing about 200 generators? If I overclock them one day, those will become the equivalent of 500 generators. I did math, and, what do you call it? And I need about 500 to 600 generators. 500 generators for turbo fuel, and 600 generators for ionized gas. And you want to know what the great thing is, what I've heard about rocket fuel? It needs no head lift requirements. Which means that I could stack a machine that produces the rocket fuel at the bottom of a sea level and build a generator at the entire top, and it will flow. It's a gas. So, that means that I can unleash the head cap. Now, I'm going to put reservoirs to fill turbo fuel. Now, the problem with the reservoirs, it could take hours to fill up. So, we're going to have a battery system. Now, speaking of, are you not going to power short? No, I'm not. But again, here's the good idea. If I put 200 generators, no overclock. Do you know what the good thing about that is? If I power shard them every single one, that's like powering 250 generators. Which means, you ready for this? If I upgrade to rocket fuel, I don't have to expand my generator array. I just have to overclock it. If hard, a large liquid on or feeding module machines, you will have what? Thank you. Great job, chat. Just, by the way, when I say chat, I'm not meaning like the person. It's just my chat in this. It just does not work. Give me a second. Let me read your comment, buddy. If you have a constant supply of fluid, okay, so maybe let's have not one, not two, but 3, or should I say 9 large-ass buffers. So, I've been getting, oh, Race, you should get a buffer before. No, you should get buffer after. So I said, you know what, F this. Let's put one after, and let's put one before. So this unit, each one of these arrays will hold enough HOR for about 8 minutes. So it flows down. By the way, the buffer at the end ensures the time it drinks is supplied. And the pulsing created over X number of machines. Yep. So what I figured out is that, here's the thing. If we don't design with a buffer, that's bad. And the reason is, it's not a sip, right? When you drink water, watch this, right? Here, let me demonstrate Satisfactory, right? Demonstrating Satisfactory with human anatomy, right? Take this water. A human cannot drink water as a constant drink, right? When you drink... Oh, God, that water looks horrible as hell. But let's drink it anyway. When you drink water, you gulp. So when the machine, it's not drinking it constantly, it's going gulp, gulp, gulp. Just like that. That was a good glass of water. A machine is doing exactly what I've demonstrated here. There is no constant sip. It is gulps. It gulps and gulps and gulps down the oil. So, the problem is, apparently, what I've heard is that if the machines are not balanced correctly, if they line up at the exact same time, they can create air bubbles. Now, before you know, yes, full pipes are happy pipes here on Satisfactory. I mean, let's take a pipe Imagine trying to pump water uphill. The only way you're going to do that is if their pipe is completely filled with liquid. When you're detailing the blueprints together, slam a full pipe of temporary so the storage reaches 8% of the system. So yeah, here I'm doing an experiment. My refinery failed. Yeah, I'm not gonna say, oh, it kind of like did. No, it failed. It literally did like shit. So, not only am I redesigning it to be better, but one thing I'm doing is I'm actually gonna turn this into turbo fuel. I'm gonna go from 8 gigawatts to 40. So I have an idea. Do you see this? What? Look at all this space. What are we gonna do here? We're going to build a battery array here. Look at this. Imagine if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 by 11. That is 110 batteries if you filled this up. That's max storage, by the way. That's 11 gigawatt hours. And we could probably stack these 2 times. I could probably reach about... Oh my goodness. So I'm going to use this half for my packaging. Now, I'm a little bit nervous when it comes to unpacking the fuel for the top. And by the way, here's how this machine will work. This building at the top will be unpackers. Actually, I should tell you, viewer, what the hell is going on here? What is this autistic nerd you're looking at? And by the way, I'm not using it as an insult. I'm autistic. But, what is this autist going on about? You might be wondering. Okay, so here's how it works. Oil is pumped to the top of this. I call it the trickle-down refinement system. Simple. Just pump it up and let gravity do the work for me. So this floor does plastic, this floor does rubber, and that does fuel. Now, it collects all the HOR, and yes, I did the math, it bounces out. I need to put buffers at the end and do some piping, because I'm missing some piping. It all trickles down. You want to hear the great thing is? That's 10 refineries that does plastic. That's 100 HOR a minute. This is rubber, so that does 20, and they add up to 300. And each one of these needs 30, so 30 HOR times 10, 300. Now, if you just look, you saw packaged fuel, packaged dilute fuel, and I know what you're gonna say. Wow, you could use the blender for that. Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, batteries sometimes aren't needed, but here's what batteries are great for. If your power exceeds demand, it will buy you time to fix some things and turn things off. It's actually real life. In real life, if power supply goes below demand, it will result in a brownout, and it will basically break the grid. And it costs a lot of taxpayer money to get that grid back going. So, you know how people have to balance the grid out in Satisfactory? They gotta do that in real life, or else the grid goes kaputs. And that is a lot of money that you gotta pay in downtime. Some factories lose tens of thousands of dollars per minute for downtime. That's why they say, time is money. So, okay, you can criticize me all you want, chat. This is an ugly distribution system. Also, there are 3 large buffers in this water tower. That looks way better than the water tower at Crater Lakes. So you know what the great thing is? By the way, the packaged fuel, yes, this is actually more energy intensive than the blender recipe. But I don't know if you noticed, I don't have the blender right now. But here's the great thing about having it in packages. I can always I can lift these with conveyor belts up to the top of this building and delete any form of any pumps. So here's how it'll work. It'll pump the fuel up to the top. This will have 4 floors. Floor 1 will be batteries and these fluid packers. It'll pack all the fluid up in the little cans, and it'll send it into over there. And then when it goes in the fuel and unpacks at the top, here's the great thing. Those packages are just going to come right down and be reused over and over and over and over and over again. To do that, I need a lot of plastic, so I'm actually running that experiment I showed you earlier. Here's the thing. It's also going to take me a long time to build this facility. So if that little experiment I have running, if it keeps running itself like that, well, guess what? By the time I'm done, if it keeps running myself, I'm very preferred network. Yeah. Like Crater Lake's generating facility, my coal power plant that I have, it has 4 gigawatt hours. So if that plant shuts off, it can provide its power output for an hour until the whole thing shuts down. Now, what I've done to this plant, or I'm going to do in this plant like I did before, is that I'm going to do what's called the separated power system. Or separated energy system, so SEG, which means that there are 2 groups of generators. The ones that provide power to power the refineries, and the refinery, or the generators that generate power for the grid. Now look, I know I could be on the cusp of nuclear power. I might be a wind turbine guy, but I'm not gonna lie. Nuclear power blows coal and nuclear power blows coal and wind out of the water. I'm pretty sure like every single coal boiler or coal turbine generates like 500 megawatts, but a nuclear generator can generate 1,000. Fun fact, guys: my home state of Illinois, we are the #1 in the United States for nuclear reactors. We have 6 nuclear power plants in this state. 58% of the power in Illinois is generated from nuclear alone. No, really. No other state in this country has as many nuclear power plants. How many reactors? We have 11 operated nuclear reactors. The closest one I know is Clinton. So we got Clinton, Byron, LaSalle, Dresden. And Dresden's really cool. I saw a video of it. When they work with Dresden, they have these nuclear waste casks, and you could stand outside of it and it won't irradiate you. Like, they seal the nuclear waste in these 3-foot thick nuclear casks, and they do a very good job. And that's in my home state. The biggest problem with nuclear, in my opinion, nuclear's biggest con is it's actually very expensive. Wind, coal, and everything is cheaper than nuclear, because you have to have so much concrete to build nuclear power plants. A nuclear reactor containment dome has to have 3-foot thick concrete reinforced concrete. You can't shove the nuclear reactors in a tin shed. And if you're wondering why can't you do that, just search up Chernobyl and look how well that one went. Chernobyl versus Fukushima. Fukushima spread way less radioactive waste because they actually had a good containment system based on Western technologies. Chernobyl was dangerous not because nuclear bad, because they were so horrifically designed. Chernobyl was so horrifically designed. Bad fuel, poorly trained staff, horrible control system. In fact, Chernobyl came it came close, probably about like 2 times to melting down. It was not a matter of if Chernobyl was going to melt down, it was a matter of when. It was going to happen. You should never look at Chernobyl as the reason why nuclear is bad, because Chernobyl is a train wreck. Chernobyl was an absolute train wreck. And the fact it didn't explode 10 years prior is insane. Apparently the Soviets ran these computers models, and every time they did a simulation, they showed the positive void coefficient for Chernobyl. And you know what they said? Instead of saying, oh shit, this reactor is bad, we need to tear it, they said, meh. In fact, they had an incident at a nuclear plant called Leningrad, where a Chernobyl-style event happened, but they managed to stop it from going full haywire. But this couldn't be said. Oh shit! It's 2026, which means that this year on April 18th will be the 40th year that Chernobyl has happened. 40 years ago. Since the worst nuclear disaster in world history. It's so sad that so many people have seen nuclear fail. So what's happened is that essentially people have lost trust in the technology. I mean, after 3 Mile Island, Americans' distrust of nuclear grew to levels never seen before. Dude, I will say, the PR behind 3 Mile Island was so bad. Like, literally, in 3 Mile Island, they said, quote, "Why do we have to tell the public about everything?" They essentially said, why do we have to tell you about what's going on with our nuclear reactor? Like, really? Again, I'm not anti-nuclear. But no, you run a nuclear reactor. You have the responsibility to tell the public about whether it's safe or not. So I have an idea. Watch this. So I'm gonna stack my fuel-powered generators like this. The first white. So I want to introduce you to. Let's see. So this is the model name. The model name for my new generator cell unit is the FGC 7.3-545X2. What does this mean? 7.3 means 7.3 gigawatts. So currently, what I like to call those units over there are the FGC 1.25 32s. I used to call them FGC 5 1.25s. So yeah, the technical name for those would be FGC 1.25s, because 1.25 gigawatts, 32s. So 3, 2. And if it was double, it'd be 32x1. So here's how I will 545 would be like this. Give me a second, chat. this. There'll be 5 in the first layer, 4 in the second layer, and another 5. And then X2 stands for 2 of them. Let's see, two stacks. So again, FGC fuel generator cell 7 point. That's not 7.3 gigawatts. That's not possible. That's 7 gigawatts. So FGC 7-545X2. So 7 gigawatts. 545, 5 at the bottom, 4 in the middle, 5 at the top, X2 standing for there's going to be 2 rows of them. So there's going to be this layer, 545, 545, that layer, right there. So Coinbase, sorry, no nickels today. I opened the box and, well, only 2021, so screw me. That was a waste of gasoline. Yippee! There's a gallon of gasoline I'll probably never get back. Yay. There goes $2.90, and then there goes a couple miles in my car. Yay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reduce how many nickels I search, because I've dried out my town. Oh yeah, I want to do an experiment, like, I want to see some. Actually, I might just raise this roof one up. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Nah, I'm not going to raise it up. I'm just going to see if I can lower it down. So the great thing is I'm going to make great use of this space right here by putting a ginormous battery array room. I kind of want to build it now, but I'm going to anyway. Hold on. The question is there rock underneath here? Because I buried some rocks. I know there's nothing here because there was some. This was where the fuel generator. Yeah, that's the residual. That is the residual plastic. So the oil and fuel facility was right here before it was demolished. By the way, guys, I have very great news. I've said it before on the stream. I have secured a job interview with a wind farm. Guys, I think we did it. I think we made it. I think we have an absolute W moment, chat. Dude, you know what's funny? The guy was... I know I probably should have been a professional, but this guy was... I was interviewing him like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I play Minecraft. I guess I was talking about wind turbines because I have a world where I build turbines in it. He's like, oh, I love Minecraft too. Like, he was so laid back. He was so cool. And by the way, just letting you guys know, we can just load this place up with batteries. Even if we were planting only one battery per level. I think we can actually... No, it's, we have to go for this to build the storage. Now, this big issue I have about these is they use a lot of these mod frames. Oh my gosh, they're 6 meters widened. We have 11 by 11 area. Let's see, 11 times 8 divided by 6. We can get about 14. So for every row, we can get about 1.4 gigawatt. Oh! Oh my god, dude. We could get like 1 gigawatt per row. If we build one row of batteries, we can get almost 1.5 gigawatts per row. And we can stack. Oh my god, this is gonna be a lot of them. Bet your sweet ass. I'm gonna stack them. I'm probably gonna have to go shoot myself across to the base that I came from. That way, I can go get materials. I can go shoot myself back over here. There's a lot. Yeah, those. I don't know. But guys, I'm very glad. I only make like 11,500 a freaking year. And by the way, if you guys are like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. That's not shit. That's lower than the median income. You know my biggest issue with nickels or any other coins besides pennies is that all other coins exist in lower quantities than pennies do. How many did we stack? Holy shit. We stacked 14 of them. Dude, how much money would it cost to store a megawatt hour, let alone 100? This battery to store this much energy would probably cost you're probably exceeding $1 million to store a megawatt hour of electricity. Oh my god. Let's see if we have 28 times 6. And we times that by 2. Oh my god, we can get like 30. We can get 30 gigawatt hours of power. Holy shit. I might space these because I don't like the number 14. If we do this, we're gonna need a lot of wires. Like a lot of wires. Oh, you hear the fuel generator. It's choking out. That's fine. Oh, come on, it's gonna do it. Come on, do it. Dry it up. Oh, here it comes. Oh. Damn, it is fighting for its life. There it goes, it choked out. Thanks. I mean, I really hope we have enough wire. I really want to cut a pathway in the middle. Again, I have a high voltage battery technician certificate. Not only that, I hold a high voltage battery technician certificate and a wind energy certificate. And I can tell you that, like, again, to store oh, they're both sided. They got indicators on two sides, not only one. So that's 12. That's 24. Okay. Let's see. So there'd be 24, 24 plus 28. Let's see, it might take off 2. Ah! Do not fly in between him. He gets stuck. Steve, you gotta help me. I'm stuck. I can't. I can't. pretty sure the other thing I designed had about my main battery storage. They had a combined total of 16 gigawatts. So like this single cell will be it'll contain, I don't know, like no, I can't either, brother. Steve, you gotta help me, I'm stuck. By the way, for reference, I knew about that meme before it became an SFW. Like, I just remember it from the Minecraft and Steve animations that one guy made, and then it got memed to shit. I'm like, oh my god. Push them against the wall. What? I have no idea what you just said. I think it was that ducking autocorrect. I love the meme where it says I ducking hate autocorrect. Oh, we're gonna get filled. It's about to get filled with plastic. Just like humans. Just like, let's see, just like the Kardashians, this canister is being filled with nothing but plastic. Wow, my jokes are so ass. No, dude, no. I literally don't understand what you're saying. Okay, time to go. Time to start our own personal space program where we, yes, we are the rocket. Wow, there's a fox probably like sitting up on this ledge. Ready? Watch it. Oh, there it is. Hello, little dude. Ooh, nice. Got some good shit. We got a lot of copper from that. I just realized that if we do that, like, that thing where we go and make a slant, we're gonna have to make a 4-meter thick floor, which, I don't care. Or actually, we could, I have another idea. Screw, I'm gonna pack all that stuff in here. That way I can actually just carry as much stuff over here as I physically can. Get the most of my inventory. Dude, I'm gonna have to start getting to bed at like 10 if I do this wind turbine job. But guys, you know what the great thing about the job is? If I get hired for this turbine technician job, I'll work 7 to 3, which means I come home at 4, which is not bad. Like, if I do 4 to 10, hey, that's still what? That's like 5 hours. I can do whatever I want. How am I gonna work lunch though? Like, what am I gonna do? Do I have to bring like a pail to eat lunch? I mean, it's in a small little town. Maybe I can find somewhere to eat. We need as many mod frames as we can get. So there's, boop, there's a ton of them in here. We need a lot of wire too. Let's go get that. Damn, we took almost everything. I like this way of going between the sites better. I probably saved at least 15 to 20 minutes to, using this thing. But here's the good thing. If the player's at full health, no matter how far you fall, you will never die. I don't know why the game does it, but I guess if you're just at full HP, you don't die. You can fall from the top of the world, it does not matter. You will lose 97% of your health, but if you fall and you have literally like non-full health, then you just die. You die from that height. Or you can just use a jetpack like I do. sorry. Hey, it's scary number 13. Imagine people being scared of a number. That's some wussy shit. Imagine being scared of a number. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. There's 12. 12, yeah. 122 then. Huh, I thought I calculated 180. Yeah, 122 of them. This song's nice. You have 100. Good night, Vietnam. What the hell? So random. Oh, I've never heard about that one. Oh shit. Okay, where did we go wrong at? Holy shit. There's a hot... Wait, there's... Pretty sure there are, there are more batteries in this right here than right here. There's 10. There is 10. There's 15. 15 stat. There's 10. Or there's 25. There's 100 batteries in here. There's 100 of these. Meanwhile, there's 100 of those. 100 of them. 100 batteries. Can I stop hiccuping? Okay, cool. There's 100 of those batteries in this building, and then there's 125 on this floor. So there's going to be 150. Actually, no, there's going to be 250. Holy shit. Times 100? That's, that's going from 10 gigawatts to about 25 gigawatts. There's 2.5 times storage potential. Okay, it's cool. 100. Hundo. 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 Let's see, so we should not see this go below anywhere between 20. We should not go below 280 or so. So it looks like we're... I'm pretty sure 280. Three. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm gonna get a lot of cables from what I'm about to do next. Not nearly enough cables here. Huh? Oh, you know what, Mike? Oh, damn it. Did it glitch? Did I have a corruption error? No. I painted these with, this swath, and then I changed it to white. That's what happened. See, that's why I need a swath with one swath, or else if I ever customize it later, it's gonna turn everything that same color. There's 200 cables, but I'm gonna need way more. Might as well go get another batch of cables. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my shower. So I is no stinky. Stinky gamer not welcome. We don't like stinky gamers here in this in the Abbott Agency. Personal hygiene is at our toppest priority. Hey, is that a Mercer Sphere? Oh shit. Oh, so you want to shoot, huh? Just every shot because I'm shit. Thanks.
Witness a single strand of the tapestry.
That right there, that is the coal that feeds into my factory, and those two are the limestone nodes. Oh, there's Summer Sloop. Nice, we found the Summer Sloop. I think that's the final Summer Sloop we are detecting in our range. Usually on the top of these like really hard to reach places, you'll find Summer Sloops, Mercer Spheres, and slugs. Purple slugs and yellow ones. Yeah, we do have a... Oh my gosh, we have a stack limit of Mercer Spheres. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go take my shower, cause that way I can just get it over with. Because I don't want to be playing and... Oh shit, I have to get off. Oh shit, I have to go take my shower. I'm gonna visit my grandpa tomorrow, so if I'm not on the lot tomorrow, that's why. I'll be back.